Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this meeting of the Council of the Town of Oakville. I would invite everyone to rise and join Council in singing O Canada. We will now have our opening prayer, followed by a moment of silent reflection, at which time we'll begin the meeting proper. God, grant us understanding and patience, that justice, truth, and honesty may be evident in our decisions. Make us mindful of the needs of the people throughout the town of Oakville. Help us govern with the wider community in mind, and so create in us a desire for progress and responsible action. We ask this in your name. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Madam Clerk, do we have regrets for this evening?
Yes, we have regrets from Councillor DeMott.
Thank you. Councillor, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Thank you. Tonight on the agenda, we have the minutes of the previous council meetings. Are you satisfied with the minutes? Councillor Johnson moves adoption of the minutes. Is there a seconder? Councillor Robinson seconds. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? The minutes are adopted. We have no public presentations for tonight's meeting, and we have no delegations. And that brings us, therefore, to the standing committee reports for the standing committees of Community Services and Administrative Services from February 18th. Is there a Councillor Kahn? I'll move the standing committee reports. Councillor Adams?
Can I separate item 5 from the ASC, please?
Certainly. Is there a seconder for Councillor Kahn? Councillor Johnston? All those in favor of everything except item 5 from Administrative Services Committee? Opposed, if any? Those are adopted. Councillor Adams?
Can I separate item 2 from section item number 5, please, for a separate vote? I voted against it at the committee, and I'd like to vote against it again tonight.
Okay. So we have we've moved by Councillor Kahn, seconded by Councillor Johnston, the item, and we're going to vote on it in 2 votes. The first vote will be for part 1 and part 3, and then we will vote on part 2. All those in favor of part 1 and part 3, opposed if any, they are adopted. And now the vote on part 2. All those in favor of part 2, opposed? Part 2 carries. Thank you. And that brings us to the information items which have been circulated electronically to you. The status of outstanding issues, which has also been circulated to you. And I'm not aware of any items from those. Under new business, I I should pause and ask if there are any notice of motion or emergency or congratulatory or condolence matter. Councillor Adams?
I have a proclamation that I'd like to read out. It's regarding the National Engineering Month of March 2014. And it is signed by yourself, Your Worship, and so I appreciate you having done that. And it reads, National Engineering Month, March 2014, whereas National Engineering Month is a cross-Canada celebration of engineering taking place during the month of March, whereas each year over 500 events take place across the country and every event aims to promote the practice of engineering and educate the public about the profession, whereas the Oakville chapter of Professional Engineers of Ontario, PEO, will be hosting its 5th event to be held March 1st, 2014, and it will be held at Holy Trinity High School. The day includes a variety of activities to showcase various engineering disciplines as well as the different stages of engineering design. On behalf of Town Council and the people of Oakville, I thank everyone involved with the Oakville chapter of Professional Engineers of Ontario for their hard work and commitment to making a difference in our community. Now therefore, I, Rob Burton, Mayor of the Town of Oakville, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2014 as National Engineering Month and encourage all citizens to recognize and celebrate with the Professional Engineers of Ontario. And that's signed by yourself with our stamp of approval. And my colleague wants me to show off my ring, and I'll be judging a robotics competition this weekend as part of my celebration of it. And if we can get the camera to zoom in on that, maybe you can give me a, there we are. Thank you very much, Your Worship, for taking the effort to do that. And I know that the engineers of Oakville appreciate that.
Well, I know that everyone on council joins me in saluting the engineers because we all know that nothing would be built well if it weren't for engineers, and we depend upon them in our daily lives. I understand that we have a request for report. Councillor Duddeck and Councillor Robinson. Councillor Duddeck, would you like to speak about this or read it or anything?
Your Worship, I'd be pleased to read it on behalf of myself and Councillor Robinson, who's also been very involved in this issue. It's in regards to the World Health Organization age-friendly designation that staff be requested to prepare a report on the World Health Organization age-friendly designation and the implications to the town on achieving this status.
Thank you, Councillor Duddeck. Councillor Robinson, did you want to have a word? Thank you, Councillor Robinson. All those in favor of approving the request for report? Opposed? The request for report is approved. That brings us to consideration and reading of the bylaws. Councillor Duddeck moves the bylaws. Councillor Elgar seconds. This is authority for bylaw 2014-09 and 2014-12, 28 and 40, the confirmatory bylaw. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Those bylaws are adopted. That completes our brief agenda for this evening. Thank you for your time and attention. It's been great working with you, and we are adjourned.